what inspired you to pursue a career as a GIS professional in the industry? How did you find this job and apply for this current position?
I think if I started way at the beginning, the GIS professional in the industry, it started with geocaching, if anybody knows what that is, which is like there's like hidden treasure chests around and you use an XY coordinate to go find it. I did that like my entire childhood, so like maps and the locating of things was kind of always an interest of mine. And then once in college, um, getting into urban planning, that was my undergrad, which I had a lot of interest in. I just like seeing how communities develop, how they change, and like kind of the factors behind what makes them change and grow. So I think that was like a big thing of finding the GIS career specifically was more of a an accident. I don't think I knew about it before going to college, but it kind of tied in really, very well with like it's an applicable skill that can be put towards a lot of things. Plus, it like ties in very well with like my interests and like tech skills. Kind of was like the perfect bundle of a career for me. So that's what really why I kind of got into this part of it. I think a lot of it was directed by the jobs that I took out of college, which aligned with what I was interested in, and I kind of just kept going with it. How I got like here to my current position at Chagrin Valley, being a manager, and like how did I find that position? I don't think I remember necessarily, but it was my key tactic was looking through LinkedIn or any of like those job posting sites, but then going directly to the company's website and applying through there. I think it got to them quicker. There wasn't any sort of people in between that I had to deal with. So that like really made it easy to find here, which um, not going through LinkedIn was better for me. But yeah, so I think that's it as far as what got me here and then really what kept me in the GIS profession. I just see it being very applicable. I've learned and kind of like in college, it was very much like the job that I could have maybe doesn't exist yet, which was pretty neat. And like it's always changing. It's brand new. So like not a lot of people are into it, which was pretty nice for me. So I enjoyed that part of it. But I'll kind of end that question thought there and send it back to you guys. Thank you.
I kind of fell into GIS in my graduate program, actually. It was one of the courses I had the option to take as an undergrad, but it wasn't necessarily an interest of mine. I actually started in paleoclimatology, which was a much different sphere. But in grad school, COVID happened and that derailed my research projects. And so I ended up going into GIS thanks to a really awesome advisor that I had. And I really fell in love with the opportunities I had there. My thesis was focused on looking at chemical hazards in the environment and how they relate to various social indices, such as the social vulnerability index. And I really had an interest in understanding how things impact people and how we can visualize that in a more meaningful way. And so I really enjoyed that. But I didn't really want to stay in academia. So I just applied for anything that had an overlap in my technical skills because GIS, if you're looking for GIS specific positions, or at least at the time, there weren't that many in the cities that I was looking at. And so I was looking at statistics degrees. I applied for executive assistant jobs. I was looking for anything that would take me. And I got a wonderful opportunity to work for a transmission company where I got to learn a lot of skills that I don't feel are emphasized in grad school or undergraduate programs. It was very business oriented. So building maps and dashboards that had a focus on managing current assets, looking at real-time data. I got to learn a lot more about what does the business care about from a visual standpoint versus the types of maps we were building for an academic purpose, which have a very different aesthetic to them. So that was really awesome. But then I had a friend at Southwest who actually, they were looking for a new analyst and they did not have any spatial analytics on the team at all. And they were hoping to kind of expand their horizons there. And so I decided to make the leap to come to a team that does completely different work. And we're in the process of building out our GIS systems now. But for those of you who are maybe applying for jobs, at least when I was doing it, it was really disheartening because I applied to a lot of places and I did not get a whole lot of callbacks. And especially with GIS positions, you may not find a lot of jobs that are marketed as a GIS job, but that doesn't mean that you can't use GIS in those roles. So I really encourage you to just keep applying. And if you don't hear back, it sucks, but that's kind of normal. But there's awesome opportunities out there and you can find them for sure.
Interest on GIS. I mean, I always also been interested in geography. I'm that kind of child. You have like a globe and also a world map, like sticking in the bedroom since I was growing up. And so pretty interesting at it. And through middle school, I mean, growing up, I because probably part of it because I'm interested in it, I got pretty performed pretty well in all those classes and also extracurricular activities like world geography, like those. And you gotta say like the habit, like the better you're at it, the more compliments and achievement you got in the field, the more you're interested in it and you want to dive in. That drives me to the decision in college to pursue an environmental science degree. Um, and it's not through that until I get the first touch of there's a thing called GIS and there are tools which using the old ArcMap and the QGIS at the beginning found it to be a super powerful tool rather than just looking at a world map or just looking at a regional map pointing things, which is like origin like geocaching is like go north for 200 meters and that you can actually achieve that in GIS and making real life decisions or for it. So got really good at it. I decided at that time it was like even if I didn't end up with a GIS degree or something, it'll be a very useful tool in my career path. So that's how I seek my internships. I intern for the Nature Conservancy, intern for the Public Policy Institute of California, intern for the Santa Clara County Water District, all with the GIS job, but like for different regions, for different aspects, like for and just keep reinforcing my interest in the field. And then I went to Duke, decided I don't want to start too much in the water, so I choose forestry, which is another solid skill set of the company. I want to see like how those two can combine with GIS. Which doesn't end up pretty like good as I thought. So during my job hunt, those two degrees is like either you go to traditional forestry or you go to nonprofits is the typical like place, but didn't got really good luck on those. I also went desperate like Julia did, applied a lot of jobs, like even to like those orange orchards, like orange tree farms. They don't manage GIS to help them mapping those. Didn't end up quite successful. Not until I'm applying for a GIS manager at my current company. Finally got a call back telling me I'm not suitable for this position, but actually I'm suitable for the forest carbon analyst position, which I say, why not? Sure. Now here I am. Just keep working on through it and still, I mean, realized I probably like this position better than the actual GIS position because I like seeing how my coworkers who also got hired with me as a GIS manager who took my job, who took that job from me, being 100% fully in GIS, I found me preferring more like in an environment with all different varieties of tasks, but still able to use GIS in a lot of data analytical works. It's like stop myself from being too nerdy on that side. But it's like also like what Jordan says, like I never thought I would get end up this job. This probably doesn't exist when I was in college as a forest carbon analyst. So just keep your eyes open.